This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbott.
Hello.
You know, some whack job can say this stuff and get away with it?
As climate change makes summers hotter and drier, there's a growing risk that wildfires will spread within the heart of the UK's biggest cities.
Oh, no.
Then they really will be dangerous hellholes like some oily charlatans are trying to make you think, mentioning no names.
I'm a nutcase.
Scientists have warned that a new weather phenomenon called the fire wave has the potential to devastate UK cities. But as scientists know things, they are considered to be woke lefty liberals and should probably be hanged, or at the very least given a damn good thrashing. In a totally related story this week, Greek locals ran into the sea and swam to rescue boats to escape wildfires. Fire crews in Spain and Portugal had to battle to contain wildfires. And Turkey has been battling severe wildfires since June.
What?
But I'm sure it'll be fine because no less a meteorological expert than some bloke on Twitter who heard it from some bloke from Reform said that everything is fine and we should go back to coal power because wind gives you cancer or something equally stupid, designed to appeal to those who are slack of jaw and absent of teeth.
I know a lot about wind. On
Sunday, plenty of sunshine, very warm, but many listeners in Glasgow will mostly get their own weather. Mostly. I can check on that while you wait. One moment, please. Your call is not important to us. We will not be with you shortly, and if we do accidentally pick up the phone, we'll slam it down, having made sure that you've been waiting for an hour. Blimey. 77 degrees and sunshiny in Glasgow tomorrow. Do you believe that?
No.
That's impossible. You're going to fry. Monday, also very, very nice. Sunny and 74. No rain on Tuesday. No rain on Wednesday. Sunny on Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. There's something wrong with this app. Rubbish. I don't believe a word of it. Right, would you like to hear the long-range forecast for the next 4 weeks?
No.
OK, this is the last 2 weeks of August. At first, sunny and cloudy and showery and windy. Then, fine and dry conditions and an increase in temperatures compared to what we had today. It was blooming freezing outside. But, and it's a huge, great wobbling but, there is a storm brewing that could lash us at the end of the month, and that means a windy and wet end to the summer. And then, first 2 weeks of September. Blimey. September already. Don't time fly when you're out of your mind. It's practically winter. It's just around the corner that we'll be decking the halls for Jesus' birthday. So first 2 weeks of September, strong winds with the potential for heavy showers, but temperatures are likely to be near to above average overall. Temperatures are likely to be near to above average overall. We'll take it. Svita in Moscow texts, you see, they are absolutely disgusting our government. Can you flesh that out for us, Svita? You know, as long as it's safe. Don't do anything dangerous. I would leave any upper floors immediately, if not sooner, Svita. You're in great danger.
Warning, warning.
Albert in Croydon says, hi, Nick, it's laughable. As in... Putin, a war criminal, and Trump, a convicted felon, sit down together and talk about the future and fate of the Ukraine, says Albert. The Ukraine. All these messages coming in already. How do they know where I am? Paul in Shoreham says, hi, Nick, I thought the difference between Trump's and Putin's speeches last night was stark. Putin used rhetorical flourishes, historical references and multi-syllable words. He even used the word nascent at one point. Do you think Trump has ever said nascent once in his entire life? Nobody said shut up a lot.
Oh, shut up!
A lot. Says that a lot, yeah. Anytime anybody's speaking that's not him. So, Sir Keir Starmer, you know Sir Keir Starmer?
No!
Yeah, that's him. Sir Keir Starmer has commended Donald Trump and claimed that the American president has, quotes, brought us closer than ever before to peace. This is despite the Putin summit ending with, no movement towards peace. I mean, this is vomitous. I know that Trump loves flattery more than anything else in the whole wide world, but come on. I mean, you wouldn't commend a child for doing something he didn't do just to stop him from being grumpy, unless you're a bad parent. I do believe that Keir Starmer is a bad parent to Trumple Thinskin. Just tell him he's a bad boy, for crying out loud. In a love bomb statement released today, the Prime Minister of this country commended Donald Trump's pursuit of an end to the killing, but said the path to peace in Ukraine cannot be decided without Vladimir Zelensky. Yeah, small detail there, but it's worth pointing out. You can't make a peace deal without the okay of the country that's been invaded. I mean, that is diplomacy D101. That is, any idiot could figure that out.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
Skier said that President Trump's efforts have brought us closer than ever before to ending Russia's illegal war in Ukraine. His leadership in pursuit of an end to the killing should be commended. That's what he said. Talk about laying it on with a trowel. His leadership in pursuit of an end to the killing should be commended. Yeah, as should his enormous manliness and huge good-lookingness. And what tremendous hands you have, Mr. President, sir, dear Lord Almighty. And Donny said, "Thank you, that is very true." Starmer confirmed that he spoke to Trump, Zelensky and other European partners this morning, saying, "We all stand ready to support this next phase." Phase? What phase? Putin came to town and left grinning like he'd nicked Trump's dinner and given him the bill. And at the end, Donald Trump looked like his dog had been taken.
My dog's been taken.
Skier said, "I welcome the openness of the United States alongside Europe to provide robust security guarantees to Ukraine as part of any deal." Well, unless I slept through that part of the announcement, the United States didn't offer any security guarantees, robust or otherwise. And what is it about the word robust? This obsession with the word robust. I must have gone my entire life up till about 5 years ago without hearing anybody say robust. Now there's barely a sentence that any politician can complete without using the word robust. It's like Sunak and Party.
It's the country's number one priority. It's my number one priority up and down the country, and that will be our focus.
Yeah, we're still not missing you, Fishy. I bet you'd forgotten he existed. Yeah, he's still there, somewhere. Just floating ever so slightly above the ground. And Skier said, "In the meantime, until he stops his barbaric assault, we will keep tightening the screws on his war machine with even more sanctions, which have already had a punishing impact on the Russian economy and its people." More sanctions? Do you mean that we've been holding back all this time? Why? So as not to hurt Putin's feelings? He doesn't have any feelings. Like a robot.
Correct.
The Prime Minister's gushing statement comes after Zelensky announced he will fly to Washington on Monday to meet with Trump. He's getting his suit pressed as I speak. He'll be putting on his top hat, tying up his white tie, and brushing off his tails, and dooding up his shirt front and putting in the shirt studs and polishing his nails.
Rock and roll!
The Ukrainian president said he'd been invited to the White House after a long and substantive conversation with Trump, which lasted for more than 90 minutes, during which Zelensky spoke for just enough time to say hello, and Trump then spoke for an hour and a half on the subject of himself. He'd be great on that, on Just a Minute. Can you, Donald Trump, speak on the subject of Donald Trump for 60 seconds? Nobody can do that better than me. Zelensky said Ukraine was reaffirming its readiness to work with maximum effort to achieve peace. The Ukrainian president said, "We support President Trump's proposal for a trilateral meeting between Ukraine, the USA and Russia." Zelensky is going to be in the same room as Vladimir Putin. Uh-oh.
Warning, warning.
Don't eat the luminous sushi. And don't even go near the tea, Flod. Zelensky's last visit to Washington earlier this year resulted in him being ambushed by a man in full makeup and his guy-linered mini-me sidekick, who seemed more interested in the sofa he was sitting on than saying anything constructive. You haven't even said thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. And after that, Keir Starmer hosing down the president with flattery, back to the real world. Media outlets in Ukraine reacted poorly to the announcement that there had been no deal struck, with the Kyiv Independent newspaper branding it sickening, shameful, and in the end useless. Yeah, probably because they were under aerial bombardment at the time. As a demonstration of what Putin thinks of Donald Trump, his troops were attacking Ukraine with ballistic missiles and 85 military drones, even while he was meeting with Trump in Alaska to supposedly talk about peace. He doesn't love you like you love him, Donny.
Oh, shut up!
This is LBC with Nick Abbott. Call 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
Yeah! Dude!
Lorraine in Manchester says, have you heard that Wills and the dreamy Kate are moving to the 8-bedroom forest in Windsor Great Park? Oh, Kate. Isn't she an absolute dream? Lorraine says, I'm worried for them. As that poor family lives on state benefits, the bedroom tax will likely cripple them. It's terribly unfair. Yeah. I do believe that Lorraine is being sarcastic. The 8-bedroom forest lodge in Windsor Great Park is free to those that can afford it. Very expensive to those that can't. Alex says, amusing as it was to see Augustus Gloop wobbling... Okay, it's just a funny name, but who's Augustus Gloop? It sounds like somebody from Willy Wonka. Is that it? Yeah, okay. Amusing as it was to see Augustus Gloop wobble his way down the red carpet, I don't believe I've ever seen him so uncomfortable. His behaviour did nothing to contradict the theory that Putin has something on him. Yeah. Between that and his takeover of DC, though, he has seemingly managed to distract people from Jeffrey Epstein. No, yeah, he hasn't, though.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Jeffrey, what was the guy's name again? I never met him. I don't know anything about him. All of those pictures are fake.
Yeah, what was the deal with him wobbling his way down the red carpet? I mean, I know he's unused to physical exercise.
Exercising is fun and it's nice.
Yeah, how would you know? The man who takes a golf cart to his golf cart. But it was quite a walk from the plane to the red carpet. I bet people got fired over that. I bet people are in jail right now for not managing to get enough red carpet to reach the steps of his plane. That he very gingerly walked down those steps. He's very, very afraid of steps and ramps and, pretty much everything. As you would expect of a manly man who dances to YMCA in full makeup. I mean, of all the people in all the world for his cult fans to revere as a manly man, they've got a guy who wears more makeup than Dolly Parton, and whose hair is just as believable.
I don't wear a toupee.
They love him. Weird. Just plain, flat-out weird. But yeah, his demeanor, the way he walked down that red carpet, I was quite surprised that he managed to stay on it. I mean, it was pretty wide. It seemed to be wider than Putin's, and Putin didn't have any trouble walking in a straight line. Or climbing down those stairs, by the way. He seemed to fair skip down those stairs, for all the talk of his various mystery illnesses. Didn't seem to be that ill to me. Not compared to, his doughy interlocutor. But it took him, it seemed like about half an hour before Trump managed to waddle his way from the plane steps to the red carpet, which had been cruelly placed some miles away from his plane. It just took forever for him to get there. I mean, I guess it was a long shot, and it looked less of a distance from our perspective than it actually was for him. because you could see how many paces he was taking. But by the time he got to the carpet, he looked like he was flat out exhausted. He'd never done so much exercise. And he couldn't keep walking in a straight line. He was veering all over the place. So it's like I said just before the news. If there had been snow on the ground, you'd have thought, oh, yeah, he's slaloming. Anyway, you're quite right, Alex. None of the above did anything to contradict the theory that Putin has got something on him. And the ashen-faced look on both Putin and all of the, the sycophants that he surrounds himself with when they came out of that meeting, because they were all jolly going in and, all smiles and grins for the camera and tough, manly handshakes and all of that. And then they came out and they looked like they'd just got news that all of their family had been killed in a freak yachting accident. I don't know what was... we'll probably never know. But Putin was grinning like a Cheshire cat, both before and, crucially, after. And whatever happened in that room, in that relatively brief period, Putin must have laid down the law, because the Trump and his Trumple thinskins, they look like they'd been rinsed. like they'd had all their money burned in front of them. But I guess we'll never know. But wouldn't it be good to, have some inkling as to what it is that Vladimir Putin has got on Donald Trump? Soraya says, Gavin Newsom is really giving the Mango Mussolini a good trolling. The man should be president. Yes, and yes. Absolutely, yeah. He is. And about time that people sort of batted back as though they were playing the same game. Because the Democrats, just like the Labour Party in this country when they were, up against the Tories, it's as though they're bringing to a game a different set of rules. The Democrats' rules are, well, you can't bat the ball back. You just got to stand there and and take a punishment. You can't put your fists up to defend yourself. You just got to let them punch you in the face, because to defend yourself would be aggression. So we can't have that. Yeah, Gavin Newsom is trolling Trump in exactly the same way that Trump sends out his demented tweets. Or truths, as he calls them. Truths. Truth social. Yeah, first of all, not true, not social. And Gavin Newsom is doing the all caps with the exclamation marks, just like Trump does. And then thank you for your attention to this matter. And it's a beautiful thing. Because up until this point, they've been playing by different rules completely. The Democrats pretending as though, just like the Labour Party when the Tories were in power, pretending as though they had to keep acting with decorum, while the other side was bringing a gun to a knife fight. No, you have to fight fire with fire, and that's precisely what Gavin Newsom is doing. And he's funny while he's doing it. And he's a hell of a lot thinner than you are, Donny, and better looking too.
Oh, shut up!
Yeah. 0345 6060 973. Merthyr Tydfil. Hello, Jeff.
How are you doing?
Yeah, very well.
I'm still in shock.
Yeah.
I just can't get my head around what's happening in this world. Anyway, I thought I'd tell you about what I heard on LBC. Actually, some guy came on and said, "Here we go. Hunter Biden has either tweeted or said something or published something where he had said that Melania Trump and Donald Trump had got together on the Lolita Express going down to Jeffrey Epstein's."
I don't think that's what he said. This is Michael Wolff, the author, who has said that they met through Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know what the details are, but Melania Trump responded by suing Hunter, not the author who had said it,
that's right,
but the man who had said what the author said. for $1 billion, which, will come in handy.
I make $400 million a year, so what difference does it make?
Yeah, $1 billion. That seems quite a large amount of money, Melania.
I don't care.
Yeah, she's not that bothered.
But the thing is, Nick, the actual core of the supposedly action, the $1 billion action, is because Hunter Biden has said that they got together, where she has said that they had, carnal knowledge of each other. They actually did things.
Really?
Disgusting.
I don't want to think about that.
Well, this is the core of the legal action.
Right.
That she said.
And which you seem keen to drag me into.
So I best leave it alone.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. The thing is that I can't believe it. But the guy went on, this guy who said, it's nonsense anyway because celebrities cannot sue each other in America. American law. Don't
Rubbish.
ask.
Celebrities can't sue each other in America. Says who? How come?
This guy on LBC.
Rubbish.
When
you say this guy on LBC, you talking about a presenter or somebody who called up?
Name, Nick. I can't remember his name.
Well, are you talking about a presenter or some caller?
Somebody had been interviewed in one of the 1,000 programs that LBC produced, and he was from Hollywood. Okay, and he
right.
No, this is what he said, and he's the one that went on about.
He says that one celebrity can't sue another celebrity. Well, because they're a protected species.
It's all nonsense. It's, hey, look, squirrel, dead cat on the table job. People did take it from the Epstein thing.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Everything that is happening at the moment is to get his dingling fans to stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Jeffrey,
what was the guy's name? I didn't meet him at all. I've got no idea who he is.
Well, the thing is, right, that all of these events that are taking place has masked the idea that Hollywood, that's Paramount, all the big studios, the media.
I know what Hollywood is.
They are all terrified,
yes,
and they're all being shaken down with a mafia shakedown by Trump, who's held his hand out, and they give in billions to him.
Pretty much every institution that Trump has attacked in whatever way he does it has folded almost instantly. All of these august institutions, newspapers, media companies, universities, law firms, not just small law firms, I'm talking about massive law firms that do hundreds of millions of dollars worth of business. They know the law and they do it for a living, and they still folded and offered him money. It's like the mafia has taken over America.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It does. But the other amusing story that I got today as well was this Vance in the Cotswolds booked to have a meal in the local pub.
Yeah, leave that with me. I've got full detailed files.
Well, the thing is, I had to rush to get Vance's band up in the Goose and Cuckoo in case he turned up there.
Yeah, in case. Yeah, that's right. Good work there, Jeff. Always be prepared. Thanks very much. Cheers, mate. 0345 6060 973. That's called thinking ahead. Make sure you pre-ban JD Vance in order to avoid disappointment later. That's just good thinking.
Nick Abbott on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
He thinks he looks good in a bathing suit. He doesn't.
Thanks, Donny. You're the best. 0345 6060 973. Will texts, on return from the toilet, Donald Trump announced that tremendous and great things happened, and nobody but him could have done something so huge. He did it all himself, but most importantly, he got extra points for getting it in the right order.
If you get it in order, you get extra points.
Yeah, well done, Donny. Good boy. Aylesford. Hello, Tony.
Hello, Nick.
Tony.
I love that sound effect, that one before. Yes, yesterday, I've got two things. Yesterday, what a waste of time. Why couldn't you have asked Donny to do it the day before? Because we only got one abnormal show this week.
Yeah, I don't think that they had me in front of mind when they were planning their itinerary. But it did seem like a complete waste of time. Why couldn't they have just Zoom called each other?
Yeah, and now I wasn't expecting anything, to be honest. But I was expecting a little bit more. But just what a waste of time.
Well, Donald Trump was expecting a little bit more. He was expecting, by the force of his own huge and tremendous personality, that Vladimir Putin would give him something that he could crow about, but he didn't even do that.
Well, rumour has it that he may have secured, Donald Trump may have secured something little for Ukraine, but he's going to wait until he speaks to a video call, of course, Zelensky and all the European leaders, but you never know with him, do you?
He's secured something little. What, like a blini with fish eggs on it?
Well, I don't know, but he secured something, but Donald Trump was unhappy. But we can't keep carrying on like this, can we?
We can't keep carrying on like this. What, you mean you and me?
Europe.
Oh, Europe. No, well, Donald, the American president has left the building. There is no American president anymore. We just got this this mafia don in the White House.
Absolutely.
And we should be treating him as such, not hosing him down with flattery like Skier is.
Well, apparently, I've got one other subject after this, but apparently the whole of Europe are like building firearms like weapons 3 times higher this year. Like they're producing them much more, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So we need something from America, don't we? But
yeah, well, they got plenty enough guns and bullets. They could spare some. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just don't know what's going to happen with him. But anyway, I'm going to go into another. Now, I really wanted to mention this young lady's name. Now, you're into the Olympics. I'm into the Olympics. I know you love your snowboarding, but I love athletics. Have you heard of Keely Hodgkinson?
No.
Oh, my goodness. She won Olympic gold last year for us. She has only just come back, and she is going to win it's 800 metres, but she is a phenomenon. She beat her personal best today by 2 seconds. So I just wanted to put it out there. She is amazing, and she's going to just do it all for Great Britain. I just wanted to put her out there because she's the best. She is the best.
Okay, duly noted. Thanks for the info. Cheers, Tony. 0345 6060 973. Anybody want to see people running around and around and around in a circle?
Boring.
Not really. No, it's not really something to look at for me. If I want to see people run, then I'll hang out at the bus stop and and eventually that'll happen. Running, I just don't really see especially middle distance, because it just goes on too long. I mean, the 5,000 metres goes on forever. I mean, it goes on so long that they start showing other sports while it's going on. And if that's not the very definition of a boring sport, then I don't know what is. But anyway, I'll make a point in looking out for her. Thanks for the swerve. P texts, "Hi Nick, here's one for your Trump bingo card. He will coronate Ivanka Trump to become president as he will leave office before his term ends." Well, he's not going to leave office before his term ends. He will still be in office after his term ends. And the only person that he's going to hand the crown down to will be his son. Not Uday and Kusei, not his idiot grown-up sons. No, he'll give it to Lurch, who seems to have something of the darkness about him. He seems to have, something of the Darth Vader-ish. That kind of vibe. That apple didn't fall far. Denver, Colorado. Hello, Danielle.
Well, hello. We spoke a long, long, long time ago when I was living in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I've been listening to you, and I just had enough today.
Enough what?
Of you with Gavin Newsom. Now
you've had enough. I've been on for less than 40 minutes. What do you mean you've had enough? I mentioned him in passing.
Because Okay, I'm obviously a dingaling, as you like to put them.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually a Trump fan, but after living here, I'm a dual national, and I was born and raised in England. After living here and living in a very progressive, very, very liberal state, and working and living in San Francisco as a firefighter for 21 years, I know what a dumpster fire that place is now, thanks to Gavin Newsom.
Oh, please.
No, I'm serious. I actually literally had to leave. I had to retire and leave and move out of state.
I've been hearing from people such as yourself that every city on earth is that is run by anybody that is remotely not right-wing is a dumpster fire. I've been hearing it about London for about the past couple of months. It's almost like a memo has gone round to try to persuade people against their own experience that London is a hellhole. Same with San Francisco, I imagine.
Nick, I worked on the streets for 21 years. I've seen the changes.
Okay, well then why hasn't everybody left?
Oh, a lot of people have left.
A lot of people have left, and a lot of people are moving to go there. There's no indication that no indication that the population of San Francisco is decreasing. But anyway, Danielle, what's it? Why are you so upset with it? Why are you calling a person on a radio show that's not even in the country you're living in, 4,500 miles away, just to tell me that you're upset that I mentioned in passing the governor of a state you don't even live in?
Because I know what I'm talking about and you don't.
Okay. All right. Duly noted. Thanks a lot, Daniel. Not a dingling. No. Very, very upset, though. I mean, it's, these right-wingers, they're just so upset so easily. It's a radio show, dear. I mean, are you going to be okay? Do you want us to call someone? Have you got your emotional support blanket with you? Bill in Cookstown says, is there anything Trump doesn't know a lot about? Apparently not just wind. He knows a lot about grass. Did you know that grass has a lifetime like humans? Yeah, he was going on about grass. He did actually say that. I was thinking of clipping it up, but the way he said it wasn't really that funny. And he kind of, he maybe even embarrassed himself when he said it. I know a lot about grass. Which would explain quite a lot.
Want to score some pot?
Not that kind of grass. Did you know grass has a lifetime like humans, says Bill. This is what Trump said. Thank goodness he's the leader of the free world and here for us for us to negotiate our way out of World War III. Yeah, we're all in great danger. Warning. Yeah. If you write down the things that Trump says and then and anybody else reads them out, they just sound utterly ludicrous. It's just that we become inured to the sound of his voice and the sound of him making no sense. You just think, oh, it's Donald Trump. But if anyone on earth said the kind of things that he does, well, they wouldn't be in a position of authority for a start. They'd be dragged out the building. This says, Trump looked like an excited puppy waiting for his owner when Putin arrived, but by the end he looked and sounded more like Sad Sam from the front of a greeting card. It was embarrassing. Who's Sad Sam? All of these fictional characters that I'm not familiar with. We had Augustus Gloop, and now we've got Sad Sam. Who's Sad Sam? Why is he so sad? Hey, Sam, cheer up, mate. It might never... Oh, no, that's right. It already has. 0345 6060 973. West Devon. Hello, Rose.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Rose.
Listen, I'm sorry I was rude on Sunday.
Yeah, I got a card from you. I don't know what you're talking about. You were rude on Sunday. I don't really listen to this show, and I was trying to rack my mind thinking about what it is that you said, and I've got no idea. But let's not go over that ground again in case I remember.
Oh, it was an utter disgrace. It was only just words before, right. I got off, and then I went outside.
Yeah, words.
Oh, well, I'm glad you got the card, and never mind. I got three points on Trump.
Mm-hmm.
The first, well, it doesn't have to be in any particular order, but But you do get extra points for getting it in the right order.
If you get it in order, you get extra points.
Extra points.
Well, it's a phrase, because you come out with like two words to sum him up sometimes, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I've got one from Peter Cook from decades ago, when he used to be this character on the television, And when he referred to God, he said, God in his ineffable hugeness. In that voice, you know. He was E.L. Whisty.
Yeah. Whisty, right. Yes,
oh,
like that.
God in your ineffable hugeness.
Yeah, a bit nasally. Yes.
That's it, yeah. Yeah. And the second thing is hero worship. You see, this thing with, what's his name, Putin, I think it's hero worship because Putin's at the top of the pecking order and Trump doesn't admire the man who's valiantly defending his country. He admires the man who's attacking the country.
Right.
And it reminds me of animals because I had a friend once who, she had this field with about a dozen animals. I can't remember now, ponies, goats and things. And they always left to go in their sheds at night in the right order.
Really?
I know. Yes. Oh, yes, the boss goes first, whatever that was, perhaps a pony.
Yeah.
And also, I was living on the farm down the road, and there was this one cow, because the trough was just the other side of the fence of my garden. And if the cattle were drinking from the trough, if this big ginger cow, who apparently weighed 1,500 weight, and she had horns, she appeared, they just got out of the way.
Is that a bull?
No, she wasn't a bull. She was called Millie.
Millie the cow with horns?
Great big thing, 1,500 weight, Mr. Lumley said, yeah. He said, you know that ginger cow, she weighs 1,500 weight. I don't know.
Bit rude talking about her weight in earshot, though.
Yeah.
I mean, really, poor cow.
Yeah. And she was very impressive looking. So she was...
And yummy to eat, I bet.
Oh, really?
Really?
Moving swiftly on.
Yes.
I get these letters from America, as it were, from my lovely Iowan friend.
Right.
And just to say that people are definitely saying strong things. I won't read the whole thing, but I mean, this one begins, Dearest Rosie, it is beyond appalling. I hate that SOB so, and then there's so many O's, I can't count them. So much, 5 exclamation marks.
Well, it sounds like she's not as dyspeptic as the caller that I just took, who seems to be, particularly irate, even in the beautiful environs of Denver, Colorado.
Yes, I know. Well, you see, I don't really know what's going on there, except the wonderful Simon Marks and my Iowan friend, and she's going on all the spineless enablers, especially Congress, his totally unqualified cabinet, and the SCOTUS. I don't know what that is.
SCOTUS. SCOTUS is the... oh, God. What's SCOTUS? SCOTUS. Yeah. Why can't I remember what that's for? SCOTUS. Hey, my glamorous assistant, what's SCOTUS? SCOTUS. He knows everything.
Supreme Court of the United States.
See? He does know the Supreme Court of the United States. And what you didn't hear him say was, you idiot.
He didn't say that, did he?
Absolute outrage. Can you believe that?
Yes, I can. And then he says, as if someone doing his actual job would have a minute to do things like, this is my girl, things like renaming the Kennedy Center.
Oh, God.
Or take control of so many things that are way beyond his business or knowledge, like removing artifacts as if he has a clue about history.
Well, he's going to impose his own version of history onto this Smithsonian institution, this revered museum.
I know.
He's going to take out everything that he doesn't like and insert his own made-up history. Oh, my God. America is like it's become a third world country. It's just like a banana dictatorship over there now. It's just it's a comedy show without the funny.
But it's exactly that, and just I won't go on any more about her, but this text I got referring back to, desperately, the day US democracy died, and I couldn't remember when that was because there were so many candidates for that day. You know?
Well, the day it died was when he won the last election and then said, thank you to Elon Musk, nobody knows more about those vote counting machines than he does. Yeah. And no one said a word about it. They just pretended it never happened.
That's how it works. People are pretending things aren't happening, and they're doing it over here with this sort of alliance between the Farage and the America. Everyone's pretending that's not happening.
Right. Or as though it's impolite to mention it. That's basically the mindset, isn't it? It's like, oh, no, we can't mention that because that's underhand. Underhand, overhand has left the building. We've only got underhand now. Be in the game, or just step aside and let somebody in who can do it, like Gavin Newsom, out of California, is doing excellent work, trolling Donald Trump right back, and causing a lot of publicity while he's doing it, which is exactly the point.
Yes, and the question arises: to where do I emigrate before it all manifests in Downing Street over here in a few years' time?
I believe New Zealand is lovely at this time of year, and has the benefit of being very, very far away. You need a rocket ship to get further away, Rose.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, my dear. 03, cheer up. It might never. Oh no, that's already happened too.
Leading Britain's conversation, Nick Abbot. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
Are you trying to tell me that this is your act?
Sadly, yes. Andrew in Penzance says Trump went in saying he would be furious if there was no ceasefire, and then came out happy that there was no ceasefire. That's exactly what happened.
It was a huge meeting, and it was a tremendous meeting, and nobody ever saw such a huge and tremendous meeting, and I got everything I wanted, which was to spend time with my hero.
York. Hello, Jan.
Hello, Nick. How are you tonight?
I am great, mate.
Now then, the other day you were talking about you wanted to sell your old car, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, I think you should get in touch with the firm on Bangers and Cash. Have you ever watched that?
No. Is it daytime television?
No.
Is that a yes?
No, it's on the night.
Is this?
I think they do repeats in the afternoon, but it is a nighttime one.
Charade you are.
No, it's nighttime.
Okay, then.
Yeah. You've never watched it?
I've never watched it. I don't. It's not the kind of thing I would ever watch. The only thing like that, I can imagine what it's like. They take an old banger, and then during the course of an hour, they lick a paint, and
No.
Put some new wheels on.
No, you're thinking of
give it a wash.
No, there's another one, Bangers and Cash Restoring Classics. I think you're thinking of that one.
Well, I haven't seen that either, but isn't that what you just said?
No, Bangers and Cash.
Yeah, but Bangers
and then they did a spin-off,
right,
where they do restoring cars.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, so what is the I can't think what the word is. What is the scenario of this program? Bangers and Cash. They just find a banger and give somebody money for it? What kind of a program is that?
It's a very good program.
I doubt it.
I can't believe I like it, really, but I do. I'm hooked.
I can't believe that we're talking about it. So what's the... go on.
It's about a car auction firm.
Yeah.
They sell all sorts. Classics.
All sorts? Really?
Old wrecks, anything.
The things that come in packets? Packets of all sorts?
No, not those kinds.
Individually? Is that legal?
No, I'm being serious here.
Right.
Listen.
Well, you have called the right show for that. Yes, go ahead.
They'd pick your car up, auction it.
Yeah.
And
give
get
you
a
the
good
money.
price for it, I'm sure, especially if it's a classic, as you say.
Well, I don't think I did say that.
You did.
Ah, well, then it must be true.
You did. You said it was a classic.
Yeah, but some people might think it was a classic. I should have snapped the money out of the hands of the people that stopped me in the street. It must have been, it happened about 4 times. Just parked it in the street. People would come up to me and say, oh, that's nice. Do you want to sell it? And stupid me said no. And furthermore... No. And I should have answered in the affirmative.
Yes.
You should.
Yeah.
Mind you, I think you might get more if you did it on Bangers and Cash. Anyway, you should watch your programme and see what you think.
I know what I think. I've pre-thought, so I don't have to waste any time watching the programme. It sounds like a load of old rubbish to me.
No, definitely not.
Somebody picks up a car, and then they take it to an auctioner's, and then they auction it, and then and that's it?
Yeah.
And that lasts for an hour?
Yeah.
There must be something else.
They don't just do one car.
Right.
No, honestly.
I mean, isn't there a cooking element, or do people dance, or is there skating involved?
No.
Nothing like that?
No. You just watch one programme. I think you'd like it.
I most certainly will do nothing of the sort, Jan. I don't want to, and you can't make me.
And I think if they said it previous owner was a famous radio presenter, that would bump the price up, wouldn't it?
Well, it would if the previous owner was a famous radio presenter, but sadly it's me.
Yeah. I mean, the other night they sold an old E-Type with no wheels.
Well,
this bloke bought it and he was going to do it up, you know.
How much?
I've forgotten how much. I think it was about £15,000.
£15,000 for a car with no wheels. Yeah, but it's an E-Type though, Jan. I haven't got an E-Type. I haven't got a classic car like that. I mean, that's blooming famous the world over. That is E-Type. Of course, you get money for an E-Type.
Well, I think you could get something for your car.
Right.
Anyway,
how much will you give me? Just send us a check and I'll pop it in the post. I'll just park it next to the post box and they'll take it. Sure, they're bound to.
Just watch one programme and see what you think.
I don't want
Now, just one more thing.
And another thing.
You got another mention this week in the Radio Times.
No.
Yep, you did. This column feature they have every week, The Face Behind the Voice.
Yeah.
They interview people who do a radio
about
show,
my face.
No, and every week one of the questions they ask is favourite broadcasters.
Yeah.
And this week he just says Nick Abbot. I think he's brilliant.
Who said that?
Well, this woman, I've never heard of her. She's on.
I mean that just seals it for me. I've never been so happy.
You might have heard her.
Some woman you've never heard of.
You might have.
Right.
She's on East London Radio, and they call her Kaz. Kaz I. Kazay.
I'm afraid I don't. No.
No. Well, she thinks you're brilliant.
Well, I am. The thing you have to remember, Jan, is that is so true.
Well, I know. I think we could all agree with that, couldn't we?
Well, I know I do. Just remember at all times, I am fantastic. So this is normal for me.
Yeah, I know. Anyway.
Yes.
What's one
you
programme?
You keep saying that, and I keep giving you I refer you to the answer I gave some moments ago.
Really, you're awful. I think you'd like it if you watched it.
Jan, I am awful, but you like me.
I do. I do like you. Yeah, I don't know why, but I do. Anyway.
I slipped in a catchphrase from an old show, and it passed you by. Do you not remember Dick Emery?
Dick Emery.
Dick Emery, yeah.
Of course I do.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. He used to what?
He used to walk down the street in his high heels and trip up, didn't he? Yeah.
Every time, yeah. He'd knock the interviewer out off screen.
That's right.
and then walk away and trip up on his shoes. And you knew it was coming, and it was funny every time.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, good work, Jan. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Cheers, my dear. Ta-da. 0345 6060 973. Val in Greenwich says, could it be that we've all been taken for a ride over the past few days? The Alaska meeting was not really about peace in Ukraine. It was to enable Trump and his uber-rich backers to make money through oil and minerals exploration deals in Siberia and Ukraine. And the red carpet treatment of a war criminal got covered by the American taxpayer. Yeah, I would expect that is the most logical explanation that we can find. That Trump is a peaceful man? I mean, come on. Yeah, that's his concern. The health of others? Please. No, he's all about the money and the flattery, honey. Don't think any further than that. And there's a lot of gold in them thar hills. Gold and minerals and, the stuff they stick in batteries and all of that good stuff. Billions and billions and billions of dollars, and that's what that was about. And Putin probably said, no, you can't have it. And that's why they exited looking so grumpy. Poor Johnny. 0345 6060 973. You can text 84850. Email nica@lbc.co.uk. If you're on WhatsApp, it's the same number as the phone. 0345 6060 973. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10. Nick Abbot, LBC.
on your radio, on the LBC app, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC. This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbot.
Everything is going extremely well.
What in places goes on inside that head of yours?
I don't know. I'm not paying attention. 0345 6060 973. It says, I am wondering what this vanity project cost the American people, all the planes and the security, etc. I'm thinking maybe $1 billion or so. $1 billion. $1,000 million. Well, who knows? I know they didn't spend any on the food that they gave the Russian press corps. Did you see that? I mean, that was embarrassing. What kind of a host gives people tents to stay in, and for dinner gives them yesterday's tuna mix with crisps and a water fountain on the wall to drink from? That's what they were given. Terrible. I mean, embarrassing, really. I mean, I know that he was trying to project a strongman image, but you don't do it by just being an appalling host. Streatham, hello, Michael.
Hello. Listen, I've had many incredulous moments listening to what's going on with the Trump administration, but this one really takes the biscuit. I mean, did you hear about the recent event when a man was arrested for throwing a sandwich at one of the border patrol police officers in Washington, D.C.?
And they wanted to call it a terrorist incident or some stupid thing like that.
Yeah, well, the prosecutors wanted him charged with the crime that would have led him to 7 years in prison. But moreover, what really disturbs me is, do you know Judge Jeanine Pirro?
Yeah.
And, you know, she always shouts at the screen, doesn't she, like a lot of MAGA Fox News representatives.
Yeah.
Well, she left her role in the Fox News and went to work for Trump as the interim U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. And she has recently put a video out there in which she states the following. The Trump administration have a proven track record of standing up for the police in the United States of America.
Yeah, apart from all those ones that were beaten to the ground and assaulted by Trump's goon army as they tried to take over the United States of America on January the 6th.
Nick, 1,600 people were acquitted by Trump regardless of what they've done.
Yeah.
And if you look at those original videos of police being crushed, and some of them have lifelong injuries, both physical
people died.
and mental.
Yeah.
And now the MAGA people are coming out and saying they're going to pursue this because of their track record of supporting the police. What's wrong with these people?
I don't know. The only thing that to keep in your mind when you're thinking about what is in their minds is they have joined a cult. It's not a political movement. It's a cult, and Donald Trump is their cult leader. He is, as many of them I've heard describe him, sent by God to save America. They think that he has been sent by God. Okay, regardless of whether you believe in, some invisible entity in space is irrelevant. But just the idea that godless man has been chosen by God, the universe's foremost brain, to save America is comically stupid. But they will accept anything that he does because it's a cult.
Indeed. And you know what, Nick? I have a friend of mine. We were living in a homeless hostel together when he was 16. We are now both 51. And he's done very well for himself. He's now a self-made millionaire, and I'm doing very well as a musician. But he has this cult mentality towards Trump, and he's a gay man. You know, and whatever arguments I bring up, like the conversation that we are having, it always is overridden by... It's not the facts that matter.
No.
It's the man himself, and he's proven himself to be a man of integrity.
Don't believe the truth. Believe what the dear leader is telling you is the truth. Deny the evidence of your own eyes.
It's very disturbing, Nick. I mean, where are we going to go from here? Because this is a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah, he's ruining the lives of millions of people with his demented tariffs for a start. I mean, beyond anything that he's doing to the actual people of America, he's upending the certainties that have allowed people to prosper all over the world. And he's just doing it on a whim in order to... I've got absolutely no idea. I mean, the most obvious explanation is he's doing it in order to cash in. I mean, tell me that that's not what's happening.
It is indeed, and now he's coming here on his second state visit, and we are literally rolling out the red carpet.
Yeah, well, because he is a baby with a machine gun, and you have to tiptoe carefully around a baby with a machine gun, and that's why everybody does that. Apart from Gavin Newsom, which is at least encouraging that there is somebody on the opposition side in America who's actually taking the fight to him. Everybody else has just capitulated and they've rolled over and begged for mercy. It's absolutely incredible what's happening there. And it's all because of a painted clown off the telly.
An orange painted clown off the telly. Yeah. I mean, he is very disturbing to us all. And to think that our king is going to invite him here is just, it's otherworldly.
Our future, it's worse than that. Our future is in his hands. Trump imagines that he is not the leader of America. He is world king, with justification, because countries, just like businesses, are falling down in front of him and crawling across the carpet to kiss his shoes. And we are one of those countries. And if you do that, then you will get treated like the supplicant that you are. Putin doesn't do that. That's why Donald Trump reveres him so much. That in any meeting between the two, Putin is the daddy. We are, on the other hand, are a willing victim. God, it's absolutely infuriating. But that's our future. It's the very people that were yelling for years about taking our country back and our sovereignty and taking our freedom back. Those exact same people want to give that freedom and sovereignty to Donald Trump so that he can run this country like he runs America. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually made that happen.
Indeed. And Nick, what do you suggest that we do in this situation?
I would stock up the drinks cupboard, Michael.
Well, do you know what? I had a conversation with a friend of mine earlier, and I said if there's a war, you've got to get your priorities right.
Yeah.
You've got to get your moisturisers in, because I'm getting on a bit now, you see. And the red wine stocked in.
Right.
You see?
And factor 1 billion sunscreen. Because, there's going to be a lot of radiation about, and you want to try and dodge that as best you can. All right, thanks a lot, Michael, and good luck to us all. 0345 6060 973. Johnny says, Trump's Putin meeting was so disastrous he may have to use the Epstein files as a distraction from that. Yeah.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, Jeffrey, what's his name again? John says, I think the word unprecedented is far ahead of robust for words not often previously heard but now seem anywhere. It just winds me up, that word robust. There's just something about it that I just really don't like. It's not a particularly nice word to look at written down on the page, and it just grates on the ear. Everything is robust. We must have a robust response. Just a response would be good. A strong, a stiff response. Robust. Where did that come from? It's as annoying as, like I said, as Sunak's party.
Under my leadership,
yes,
the government's priorities are your priorities.
For you.
The people's priorities.
Oh, the people.
It's the country's number one priority.
Yes.
It's my number one priority, up and down the country, and that will be our focus. My absolute number one priority.
My number one priority is to protect this government.
Well, what I want to reassure people is that this will be my number one priority. People should be
absolutely reassured that this is a top priority for me. I'm gripping it.
Glad to hear it, Fishy. I mean, you'd think that his handlers would have told him not to say a word that he finds difficult to pronounce. Party. It's my number one party. I mean, somebody should have, lent a word in his ear, his gigantic, massive ear. Just whisper it in there. You could be 500 yards away and he'd be able to hear you. Lugs like that. 0345 6060 973. San Francisco. Hello, Sophia.
Hi, Nick. It's Oive and SOS sending the ship is sinking. Titanic America is going down.
That's right.
My goodness.
Warning.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's just interestingly, in the 1950s, there was a TV show in America called Trump. It was about Trump, a conman named Trump. If you Google it, you can still see clippings. It's really, really.
What was it?
It was a TV show about a conman named Trump who promises that he can solve all the problems, and then the sheriff of the town called him, "You're a conman, Trump." And so it was really strange.
And it was called Trump.
Yeah, if you Google CBS show about conman Trump in the 1950s, you will get a pickup on it. But it's really, really eerie, to say the least.
Okay, well, let's see what we get. I've just typed all that in Google. 1950s TV episode featured conman named Trump, who wanted to... Hang on a minute, I'll click it. Who wanted to build a... I can't believe this. He wanted to build a wall.
I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall.
This is unreal. A 1950s TV episode featured a con man named Trump who wanted to build a wall.
If there's a concrete wall in front of you, go through it, go over it, go around it, but get to the other side of that wall.
Can you believe that?
Oh yeah, it's very prophetic, to say the least. But it's also interesting, there was also speaking of 1950s, there is a group named Spank and the Gang. They were also popular during that time too. You should check that out.
Called Spanking Again.
No. It's the music group is called Spanky and the Gang.
Oh, Spanky and the Gang.
Yeah,
well, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, but there's some good songs on it. There's really good.
Well, I'll put it on the list of things not to listen to. How does that sound?
But back to what's going on. As we're speaking right now, there was an earth tremor in San Francisco.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's been a bad week for America with all the Trump Putin nonsense and the just had this earth tremor, and it's America is a sleepwalking right into the over the cliff.
Yeah,
nobody seems to care.
I know, it's absolutely extraordinary. People in America, in the media in America, even though they know better, they're reporting all of this as though it's all completely normal and there's nothing to be concerned about, and rules and regulations will keep him from doing anything really crazy, and we only have to wait to for a couple of years, and then he's going to be out of office anyway. Hey, America, wake up! This is a coup.
It's going to be too late. Well, he said he's not going to leave office.
No,
so
he's never going to leave. You've had your last fair election. From this moment on, it's a fix.
Yeah,
I mean, he even said it himself about the last one.
Yeah.
He said to a group of Christians. He said, you beautiful Christians, you only have to vote this one time, and then you won't have to vote ever again, because we're going to fix it. I mean, he's telling you what he's doing, and they're still ignoring it.
Yeah, he's building that beautiful, big, nice ballroom for what, $200 million.
Yeah.
That's just telling what he's up to. He's not going to leave.
Of course he's not. I mean, obviously, if he's building a ballroom for $200 million, and if they say $200 million, it's going to be $400 million. You know it. And this ballroom is 90,000 square feet. And to give you an idea of what that is, that's a football field and a half. For a ballroom. The actual ballroom is bigger than the White House that it's going to be stuck onto. amazing. And the idea that he would have that built for him and then leave it behind for some other president to use is just absolutely farcical. I just don't get that people are sleepwalking.
By the time he's done, he's going to be so bankrupt. We're $40 trillion already, and it's just 6 months in his presidency. By the time 4 years from now, it's going to be way for the $50 trillion.
Yeah, but that kind of but that is something that will be paid off in the future. He don't care about that. He's making his money now.
I make $400 million a year. So what difference does it make?
I actually believe him now. I didn't used to believe him when he said it, but now I do believe that he's making $450 million a year. That easily, probably more than that, through his crypto ventures and selling his MAGA hats to his his demented cult fans. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hey, why do you live in a place that is so liable to earthquakes? Because the big one is overdue, isn't it?
Yes. Interesting. I grew up in Northern England, and I went to Oxford, interestingly. But then I came to the United States because I have a worldwide business ventures. And San Francisco is always these nice hills and all that, but you have to always tremors. You have to have nerves of steel to live in San Francisco.
Yeah, but it's a bit crazy, though. I mean, why not move? I mean, you don't have to move very far to be out of the earthquake zone. I mean, do you not wake up every day thinking, well, is this the day that it's going to happen? I mean, you must get small tremors all the time just to remind you of the fault that you're standing on.
We just had one 2 minutes ago.
Right. Is the chandelier still shaking?
Yeah, it's still shaking now. That's why we have the foundations and the columns in our house is 30 inch by 30 inch concrete. Steel columns. Wow.
That's well. I mean, you will probably be in the only house that's still standing in your road then.
Yeah.
You better get ready to offer shelter and accommodation. All right.
Yes.
Good talking to you, Sophia. Thanks for that. 0345 6060 973. Have I done the break yet? Oh, I do dislike. Huh? What's that?
I don't think you have. I think you took that last call
right
before the break.
Okay, well then that's probably your fault. I think that's a yes.
This is LBC. Conversation. Nick Abbott. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
Shut up.
I can't. This text says, have you watched the new Alien TV show? It's good so far, but I felt Mr. or Mrs. Alien needed more gloop. More gloop? Yeah, I did. I didn't really like it. I watched the first one and I thought, meh. I can't really be bothered to watch any more of them. It's a big no from me. And furthermore...
No.
No, I didn't really understand what was going on. Where were they? Why was there an alien loose aboard that ship? And, no, didn't really do it for me. It's a shame, because I really want another series, but there just seems to be so little of them about. I mean, where are the quality TV shows? No, please don't call me. I don't want the rest of this programme to be people saying, have you seen this one? But, where's the new Breaking Bad? Where's the new Sopranos? Where's the new Wire? Where's the new, all that good stuff from America? Ozark was good. Justified was good. I mean, there's so many of them, but I've seen them all. Looking for some new ones. I'll find them eventually, don't you worry. I'll root them out. Bootle. Hello, Sarah.
Hello, Nick.
Sarah.
Nick. Well, haven't we had fun this week, especially on Friday?
Oh, blimey. I've never been so chucklesome.
Oh, I know. I mean, we were all waiting with bated breath to find out what was going on that plane in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you imagine the scene as he gets on Air Force One, and he goes, and Donnie welcomes Putin, and he goes, oh, hi, of course, Mr. Putin, of course, Mr. President, I'll do whatever you want, just tell me what you want. So Putin sits down on the throne.
Sarah, wait a minute. You do sound like a listener with material to me.
No, honestly, it's not material. It's not material.
It is.
Honestly, no. This is what might have happened on the plane.
Yeah, like I said,
so he sits there, you know.
Material. You've written a stage. It's a stage play you're reciting.
It's not a stage play.
Okay,
Nick,
then.
please. So you can imagine this as Putin sits down on the throne and says to him, as Donny is sitting at his feet, kissing them, "This is what I want. I'd love Alaska as my summer retreat, but the Americans won't wear it. However, we will divide up Ukraine. We get the land, you get the minerals, Ukraine get the shaft." What would our allies say? Who cares about your allies?
Okay. All right.
You know.
Okay.
So, and then it goes. Then, you know.
No. I'm leaving this production in the interval. I mean, I sat through it for the first half, and I'm like, oh my God, please get me out of here. But I didn't want to, leave during the first half because the people in my row would have had to stand up to let me out, and that would be rude to the performer. So I waited till the interval, and then I surreptitiously left. You probably didn't notice. Very, very subtle. Just slid out the back door. But thanks for that. 0345 6060 973. David Paul says, Nick, I really think that Zelensky should be on his guard when visiting Washington. His demise would be perfect timing for two despots. Say no more. Johnny says, imagine being a nation with a population of 350 million and you send a self-obsessed, demented clown to negotiate the end of a war with a KGB agent and gangster, says Johnny. Yeah, I know. 350 million people. It's more than that. It's like 365 million people, so there or thereabouts. Let's not quibble over 10 million people. And that's the best that they could come up with. Amazing. I mean, anybody else would have done it. Just some random person in the street. Do you know anything about being the President of the United States of America? Well, I know where the White House is. That's great, you're hired. Let's see now. Who's been waiting the longest? I want to do J.D. Vance versus that pub, or more accurately, that pub versus J.D. Vance. And I've got a story about Tom Cruise and a story about artificial intelligence.
Affirmative.
Yeah, it's coming for us, whether we like it or not. And there's also a virus coming out of China. I hope you haven't thrown your mask away. God, wouldn't that be awful if we had to go through all that again? York. Hello, Claire.
Hi, Nick. Hi.
Hi. Are you social distancing?
Hello?
Hello?
I'm not social distancing, no.
Oh, no! Go ahead.
This week, I think we're going into uncharted territory in that I've seen first proof that we are definitely following America because of what happened this week with the BBC. I think this has been underreported, and I think it's really quite worrying that Thought for a Day on Radio 4 responded to Robert Jenrick saying, and I quote, he said, he feared for his girls because of migrants. Now, Thought for a Day just said that this was xenophobia. And the right wing, who believe in supposedly free speech, absolutely had a fit and started emailing the BBC, complaining, and the BBC promptly, almost immediately, put out an apology. Now, the definition of xenophobia is fear of foreigners. Now, isn't that just what Robert Jenrick said? He feared for his girls because of migrants.
I think if you check the statistics, most children get abused by their own family in the family home. So, maybe he should do his good work somewhere else. But it's as though a memo has gone round to right-wingers, both in America and in this country, to try to persuade people against their own observed experience that the place that they are living in is a lawless, anarchic hellhole. It isn't.
Selena Scott was on GB News apparently saying that Sadiq Khan was responsible for her being mugged in London.
Well, she said some asinine things. One of which was that celebrities and the royals get their own protection people. Why can't we? Well.
It's unbelievable the stupidity of...
for the very good reason that it would at least double the population of the country if everyone had their own security guard.
Wherever there are people, there are going to be criminals, and wherever there are white people, there are going to be white criminals too.
That's right.
I'm just so sick of this framing of criminals being always foreigners or of a different colour.
Yeah, it does seem to be a definite plan. I mean, either people of a sort of chancers who are trying to get ahead are either hearing other people say this kind of thing and they're thinking, oh yeah, that's how to do it. We'll just copy that, or it's actually we're witnessing a staged plot to take over from the very same people that are subsidising Trump. It's the same money, it's the same small number of people, and they're trying to persuade you that where you are living is an anarchic hellhole because of the left. And we've just gone through 14 years of conservative rule. Everything that is wrong with this country is specifically their fault, and they're telling us that the only people that can fix the problem that they caused is them. And if anybody's daft enough to believe that, well, I've got a genuine... made in China Rolex watch I'd like to sell you. Here, Claire, keep up the good fight. Thanks for that. I've got to go.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott.
You're joking.
Hey, by the way, I do a podcast with Carol McGiffin.
Oh, right, yeah.
And if you think that, the world is a cruel and unusual place and you just like to check out for a while, just have a little holiday from everything that's going on, well, I think it will be right up your alley.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's a problem-solving podcast, and it is chucklesome. I do believe that you will find it highly amusing. I know I do. It's the most that I laugh during the course of the week when me and her are doing it. And it's called What's Your Problem with Nick and Carol. And if you want us to have a bash at your problem, your issue, a conundrum of yours, something you've always wondered about, then leave it in the hands of the unprofessionals and email it to the following address: nickandcarol@global.com. nickandcarol@global.com. Ask for it by name on an internet near you. What's your problem with Nick and Carol?
Yeah.
0345 6060 973. Let's see now. Who's been waiting the longest? Hackney. Gabriel.
Hi, Nick. How are you today?
Very well, thanks. Yes, good.
Recommendation, Succession. You must have seen it.
Succession, yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Perfect, yeah. I'm just in the final season now. I wanted to ring up about... Well, actually, it was about your conversation with Carol McGiffin in your latest What's Your Problem?
Oh, yeah.
And you were talking about haircuts.
Oh, yeah.
And I just wanted to give you a brief tale about a haircut that I once had. Well, it started off very badly by a guy just basically attacking me with scissors, and I came out of the barber's looking like I had my hair cut with a triangle protractor. It was that bad on the fringe. But my leading point was, why do so many right-wing populist leaders have such horrendous haircuts?
Bad haircuts, yeah.
Now, there's one in particular. His name is called Rain Epler, and he's an MP from Estonia, and it is god-awful. I saw it this week.
Wow. I've just had my glamorous assistant has just posted a pic. That it can't be real.
It's like Michael Fabricant and Boris Johnson kind of merged together.
Worse. That's I've never seen anything like that in my life. What's that guy's name?
Rain Epler.
Rain Epler.
E-P-L-E-R.
E-P-L-E-R.
And then it got me thinking and going down a bit of a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
The Argentinian leader, Javier Milei.
Yeah. Also
I
weird.
mean, him and Rain put together would look like a budget tribute Oasis band. If you put
That is actually the worst haircut I've ever seen in my life, bar none. Rain Epler. Thank you for bringing him to my attention. I mean, he doesn't look human. He doesn't look like a human.
No, I mean it's the sharp cut around the ear.
Oh.
In fact, he reminds me of Gareth Keenan from The Office, if you've ever seen it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly. But much, much worse. Like, so bad you can't possibly imagine it unless you actually see a picture. And that name again, Rain Epler. But you're right. Right-wingers, right-wing dictatorial types always have a weird thing about them. I mean, either they've got like a tiny, odd-looking moustache that looks like something died on their top lip, or they've got a bouffant, or they wear a wig.
I don't wear a toupee.
Something like that. Yeah, they've always got something odd about them.
Donny's hair, it's not so much blonde anymore. It's like a neat yellow. It's fading. I don't, whether he's running out of hair dye, I'm not sure. But I think
from the way he was weaving down that red carpet, it looks like he's fading.
But I'm quite particular about my hair, so I can't lie to you, Nick. I did look a bit like Rain when I came out of the barbers about 3 years ago once.
Well, the next time I go into the barbers, I'm going to take a picture of Rain and tell them to do that.
See what just give you a short back inside.
See what they say, yeah.
I don't know about you, but I don't trust old barbers.
Old barbers?
B-A-L-D.
Oh, bald.
Bald
well,
barbers.
there's another group of people that have terrible haircuts. People that do haircuts for a living. I mean, you go into a salon, not necessarily a barber's, because they probably do each other, and all they do is a short back and sides. But you go into a salon where people spend a ton of money, and the people doing the haircuts have got terrible haircuts, almost as though they did it themselves.
I mean, I think the funniest thing is when you go past some barbers and the pictures outside of them are like David Beckham from the 2000s or something.
Yes.
I mean, I wish that they put something up a bit more real, like Rain. You know, Rain Epler's hair
that
on the
would
windows.
Be funny.
The only customers they get them.
There's a barber in Brighton that's got a poster of Beavis out of Beavis and Butthead. It makes me laugh every time I see it.
I started watching that again this week. I mean, it's just
funny stuff.
Brilliant. Anyway, thanks for the show, Nick.
All
Great
right,
show as always.
Thanks, Gabriel. 0345 6060 973. This text says, how bad do you think things will have to get before one of the political parties will admit that Brexit was a massive mistake and that we need to rejoin the single market? I reckon we'll have to wait for the Tories to do it, but on the bright side, the careers of the current lot are all over. They kind of are, yeah. I mean, you can have those fat loss jabs and do your silly little videos of people, not buying tickets on the tube as much as you like. It seems increasingly desperate and over to me. Next. He says, maybe the next generation will have the guts and the good sense to apologise. I can't see Labour or the Liberals doing it. They seem to have lost the ability to tell the truth about it or call Farage out for his failures. Yeah, it's a fear of the incurring the wrath of those people who still believe in Brexit. And you ask any of them what it is that they like so much about it, and they'll say everything. Or some moronic, stupid thing like that. They've got no clue, but they cling to it as though it is, the possibility of a better life in the future. Well, I think that time is up. It's gone. The possibility has expired. This is your life, and Brexit is not going to change it any more than it ever was going to do in the first place. And the only people that seem to have anything positive to say, or really it's the other way around, the only people that don't want to say anything negative about it are the ones that brought it to us in the first place.
Brexit's going great.
Glad to hear it, Nige. Glad to hear it. I trust you. 0345 6060 973. East Yorkshire. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Nick. Yeah, just sticking with Farage. Did you notice his demand this week for the right to appoint reform lords? into the House of Lords.
He's the chap who wanted to get rid of the House of Lords, wasn't he?
He was absolutely bitter about it for 20 years, but the thing was, he said, we deserve reform representation in the House of Lords. Well, there's a load of the old geriatric duffers in the House of Lords have supported reform views for 40 years. There just wasn't a party that they could join.
Yes.
Just loads of them in there fit perfectly with him. He's well represented in the House of Lords.
Exactly. A few and fewer of them would be better all round. I mean, there's so many of them; it just is absolutely ridiculous. But each government that wants to stuff it with their own cronies, even though in opposition they say that they don't, but they do.
Yeah, they all do it. I mean, I don't like it, but to be quite honest, we've got enough problems at the minute, and it doesn't actually operate too badly. We've got more things to deal with than have a 6 months doing nothing else but sort the Lords out. So I would leave it. But
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, just going back onto the Putin-Trump thing a second. Did you notice that when Putin started speaking, he spent a good 2 or 3 minutes talking about Alaska's Russian heritage?
Yes, history lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, saying that there's still the Orthodox Church and there's Russian place names and what have you. That is incredibly reminiscent of his excuse for invading the Donbass.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Watch out, Donny.
Warning, warning.
He's coming for your territory. It was just, he was just sizing it up. That's what the meeting was for. He was just thinking, yeah, it's a fixer-upper. All right. Thanks a lot, Mike. 0345 6060 973. This text says, Nick, your caller last week with a dog named Courgette prompted me to tell my mum that my mum pronounces the word courgette gooey-jet. That's gooey without the Y. Gooey-jet. I've spent so long mocking her for this that the other day in a well-known supermarket, me and my wife couldn't find any courgette, so I had to ask an employee. I said, can you tell me where the gooey-jets... Tell me where the gooey-jets are, and not on purpose, and my wife laughed at me. Laughed at him. I could go for a couple of gooey-jets right now, as a matter of fact. Paddy in Cheltenham says, yes, the base actually couldn't source enough red carpet, apparently, and had to make a decision as to who got what. Fibonacci ended up with less and had to do the walk of shame from the plane too. We love to see it. It was comical. The look on his face, the look on Trump's face when he was walking towards the red carpet. I mean, he could see it, but he could barely reach it. And when he did, he was like all over the place. Must have been absolutely exhausted, poor man. Despite his well-known love of exercising.
Exercising is fun and it's nice.
Is it really? Fun and nice. Imagine that.
Leading Britain's conversation. Nick Abbot. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
This is absolute tosh.
Phil in Accrington says, Nick, did you hear about VP JD Vance getting cancelled at a pub because the staff said that they would walk out rather than serve him? Why, yes, I did. A staff mutiny forced the management of a plush British countryside pub to turn away JD Vance just weeks after the same venue hosted Kamala Harris.
What?
Yeah, just to rub his face in it. The free speech and free will loving Vice President had attempted to dine at the Bull in Charlbury in Oxfordshire, an early 16th century countryside pub. However, the staff reportedly staged a mutiny, telling management that they would not show up to work if the venue accepted Vance's dinner booking. In other words, they used their freedom of speech and their free will to refuse to do something that they didn't want to do, and the right-wingers were absolutely fine with that because they revere free speech and free will. No, of course they didn't. They're only interested in their own freedom to impose themselves on others. Sack 'em! Replace them with temporary staff is a stain on our once great nation, said fake patriots, egged on by oily charlatans from their foreign tax havens. And the rejection is all the more embarrassing considering that the former Vice President turned presidential hopeful Kamala Harris dined there just weeks before. and I'm sure she had a lovely time, as the reviews for the place are 5-star great. And apparently they have a strict policy on undesirables. Vance and his family stayed in Sharbury in the Cotswolds, which was only just big enough to take the stupidly large 20-car motorcade that accompanied him wherever he went, like an emotional support blanket. I mean, how would you be able to tell he was important if he didn't shout it in your face? On Tuesday, the locals staged a Dance Against Vance protest, was punctuated by placards dubbing him a war criminal, and images of a meme that shows a bald and baby-faced Vance with rosy, swollen cheeks. And that picture is hilarious. Which, under new laws, by the way, brought in by Keir Starmer, is actually a terrorist offence now. Did you know that? He was actually staying in the tiny hamlet of Dean, which was chosen because it reminded Vance of the tiny hands of Donny. Did that make sense? Not really. Even the deputy mayor of nearby Chipping Norton spoke out against his holiday. He said, "We've had a curtailment of our freedoms here just by his mere presence in terms of where we can walk and where we can be," said Steve Akers, the deputy mayor of nearby Chipping Norton. He said, "And the American Secret Service, who've had knocking on people's doors and asking about their Facebook profiles." What? And that relates to reports that his protection detail had demanded social media profile information from those living in the area. Now, Thames Valley Police, the force that surrounded the Vice President's visit at our expense, denied these claims. They said residents were under no obligation to answer any questions and were not asked about social media. Who to believe? And then the bloated circus went to Scotland to promote one of Donald Trump's golf businesses, where he will have received a typical Scottish welcome that greets Trump or anyone Trump adjacent. They said, 3 cheers for the weird-looking guy in the eyeliner. Hip hip. Boo! And by the way, I mean, you think our lot don't do much. Trump has spent a third of the days since he's been in office golfing at his own resorts. A third. And the list of the Vance family vacations so far, this is since the end of January, includes but is not limited to Greenland, Vermont, Rome, India, Disneyland, Nantucket, Ohio, the Cotswolds, and now Scotland. An evil regime's work is never done. Let's see. Tooting. Hello, Jan.
Hi, good evening, Nick.
Yes, Jan.
Yeah, so I've got a few points to say about this Trump and thing. But I think what surprises me is that, well, it's like Britain and France and Britain have a kind of calling it by another name, bringing all the nations together, so that if there is a peace agreement with Russia and Ukraine to stop the war there, that they want to guarantee that this coalition of the willing, but it's a bit more than that, because was it Healy? I'm quite surprised to see what's being said. Healy is saying yesterday, imagine if this was said to Trump when he was with to Putin when he was with Trump, that England and France have coordinated more than 200 military planners from 30 nations to ensure a peacekeeping operation. Britain's prepared to put troops on the ground. I mean, if that was aired to Putin while he was there, I think he would have. He might have just got up and left.
Well, I'm sure that Vladimir Putin has, even if he doesn't, then I'm sure he has people who read papers from him and would have alerted him to any developments.
Well, yeah, maybe, but these meetings are going to come. He will hear about it when this meetings come up. When this meeting comes up this week as well with Britain.
Well, I'm sure he knows about it already.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, But the thing is that what I think is that there's this. it's actually putting Putin back to where he was on his back foot with this NATO, because that's like having NATO on. So that's how it is to him.
Well, on his doorstep. Well, NATO is on his doorstep now because Finland has joined NATO. So everything that he wanted to avoid is what he has personally made happen, Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, but the thing is, and there's another thing that is quite worrying, is that what I came across was that when we can't really, no one's mentioning the fact that North Korea sent 12,000 of its military to support Russia.
Yeah.
They've lost millions, between them, Ukraine and that.
Little Rocket Man, yeah.
Yeah, so we mustn't forget that. And what's interesting, looking at that with this, anyway, this think tank, this think tank did a thing about what will it be like in 10 years? What will it be like? And this is all like it's going to happen. I think with this scenario that those countries, the CRINC countries, and the CRINC countries, China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. Because North Korea sent 12,000 of its men there to die.
Well, to fight.
To the Ukraine. And the thing is...
I don't think they sent them there to die. I think they sent them there to fight.
No, but they did. A lot of them died.
Well, that they did is not the reason that they were sent there.
No, but Nick, but this is what can happen, is that, look, Russia and China are going to have an alliance.
Yeah.
With those with North Korea. It's already like that. So Russia isn't going to be on its own, and it's not the pariah that the West is making it out to be.
Well, it is in the West.
It's a different way of narrative, because I was so shocked to read that Kim Jong-un of North Korea looked upon what Russia's doing to Ukraine as a holy war.
A holy war. I didn't think he was into. I didn't think he was into God. But okay. So, what's the upshot there, Jan? We're all in great danger.
Well, no, I mean I just don't see that Putin. I mean, look at this as well. This other figure that's quite shocking. How Russia is actually its economy grew faster last year than all the G7 countries, because of the forget about sanctions, they don't work. It's fossil fuels and it's warfare. I'm not sure Russia's economy is in a growing phase.
But if it did grow faster than anywhere else, that's because it had tanked and is growing from a very small base. Don't worry about it, Jan. You seem to be overly concerned. Everything's going to be okay, unless it isn't. In which case,
emergency. Everybody to get from street. Emergency. Everybody to get from street.
Okay, I'll see you in the Nissan Hut. Make sure you bring your tin hat. 0345 6060 973. Phil in Accrington says, hey, did you... Oh, no, I've done that. That's the pub thing. Been there, done that. John in Peacehaven says, I couldn't help but notice that the orange Trumper's hair was a few shades darker yesterday, so it could well have been dyed especially for Putin. Well, he was gussying himself up. Had to make him, look nice for Daddy. How many more of these messages have I got to go? Oh, only 12 pages. Struth. I'll never get through that. But I'll try, because if nothing else, I am trying. That is just a fact. Zach in Portsmouth says, remember how Obakarama used to half jog down the steps of Air Force One, arms at chest height, like he was an athlete? That's another thing about that. Now, another thing that Augustus Gloop should be jealous of Obama for. Augustus Gloop. That's very rude.
Don't be rude.
Yeah, don't be rude. Yvonne in Hastings says, Donald hesitantly descended the steps, no sprightly walks. The Donald used the left handrail and Putin used the right handrail. Does it suggest anything? No. What could it suggest? Martin in Isleworth says, other than If Putin used the left-hand rail, then maybe his gun is on his left-hand side, so he would hold the left-hand rail with his left hand, thereby leaving his gun hand free. Possibly. I mean, would you be remotely surprised if Vladimir Putin was armed at all times? I mean, you'd be probably more surprised if he wasn't. Martin in Isleworth says, why do you do a serious show last night only to make fun out of it now? Because that's the nature of what I do, Martin. I knew last night's meeting was going to come to nothing, and the whole world made a big deal of it. It was obvious to me that this was going to be the outcome. I really believe Putin is about to do something bigger. Well, Martin, you sound like a seer. Never mind about the news. We should just check in with you, and you can tell us what's going to happen. But the takeaway is that Martin is very cross, very angry indeed. He's furious. 0345 6060 973. Hey, I tell you what, Martin, just look at a picture of Rain Epler, and then all your worries will dissipate. Dissipate on the wind are like a bad smell. And nobody knows more about bad smells than Donald Trump.
I know a lot about wind.
0345 6060 973. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10. Nick Abbot, LBC.
On your radio, on the LBC app, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC. This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbott.
Yeah!
Hang about, Nick. Listen, now, what I'm trying to say to you is this, Nick, right?
Yes, let's ask Nadine Dorris what she thinks. That sounds like a great idea. Judy in Connecticut says, stop teasing poor Donny for his wobbly waddling around the red carpet. World peace diplomacy is hard graft. Yeah, he was wobbling before the diplomacy part even started. This says, dear Nick, I also noticed the man baby staggering down the red carpet, but did you notice how wide his piece of carpet was? And he gave Putin a thin strip, although it was disgusting, he gave him a red carpet at all. Yeah, Putin had a thin strip that you would think a circus performer would have difficulty in keeping to, and he managed it no problem. Donald Trump had a piece of red carpet that was so wide you could have landed the plane he got off on, and he still couldn't walk to fashion a straight line down it. He was all over the place. Well, he was probably exhausted because of the walk to the red carpet. 0345 6060 973. Let's see now. South Shields. Hello, Joanne.
Good evening, Nick, and thank you for cheering me up.
Oh, well, thank you for thanking me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And lovely Jan, if you're still listening, because you're one of my favourites, don't take any notes of the news. If we're bombed, there's nothing we can do about it.
Nothing we can do about it. That's right.
I'd like to talk about hair, because as a kid, my family were known as the Hair Day Bunch.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Children can be so mean.
Tell me about it, Nick.
I am telling you about it.
Well, I listened to your caller with glee, and I looked up Rain and thought, God, he makes Dave Hill from Slade look normal. He really does.
Well, that is rude, but true.
But Dave Hill's lovely. Yeah, I have a soft spot for him. He's just so sweet.
We're talking about Rain Epler, R-A-I-N-E-P-L-E-R.
Correct.
And you will, trust me, you will thank me. Well, you can thank me now, actually. Never mind about later. You can thank me now. And you'll never have seen anything like it in your life. I'm still stunned. I've got a vivid image. It's like it's seared onto the back of my retinas, Joanne.
Do you know what it looks like? He has a gay lover who's a hairdresser, and it's a revenge haircut.
Yeah, we're not saying that that's the case. That's what he looks like.
That's what I imagine.
Right.
Did you ever see Phil Spector up in court? Google that. Now, people speculate that he did that. You know, you can either be... Like, you know, you look at Donny in his makeup and you think he's probably trying to cover the fact that he looks like a piece of crumpled paper behind the makeup.
What must he look like? I mean, what must he look like in the shower? You know, when his hair is all sort of unweaved, whatever
please don't, I'm all a flutter, please don't.
This close to dinner time, I apologise, but you know, what must he look like when he's wet and unmade up? With the his hair must be. I think it's just one strand that he weaves around and around and around like a toupee.
I don't wear a toupee.
Doesn't wear a toupee.
Nick, you've given me an idea.
Yes.
I can't take Manjaro because I went from being too thin to doing a really good job of my GP saying, please put some weight on, and now I've done a really good job. You've just given me an idea, aversion therapy. Whenever I'm going to get a picture of Bonnie, and whenever I'm put it near the donuts and biscuits in the cupboard.
Great
and whenever
idea.
I go for, whenever I'll try to identify donuts and Donny, donuts, Donny, donuts, Donny. But I was calling to say, Google Phil Spector, court, fright hair. He either did it to look mad instead of bad.
Right.
But great show.
Thanks very much, Joanne. You've given me homework, and ordinarily I don't appreciate that, but I'm going to look up Phil Spector court hair. Let's have a little... Wow. That is incredible. It looks like he's... It looks like he's standing in front of Tina Turner. You can only see her hair. Good grief, that hair is about twice as big as his head. I've never seen anything like that before. How did he get it to be so poofy? Good grief. I mean, Phil Spector has issues, but I didn't think they went that deep. 0345 6060 973. How much product would be needed to keep it like that? He's going to burn a hole in the ozone layer with that kind of regime. Bayswater. Hello, Andrew.
Oh, good God. I was given no warning about that. Look,
Andrew, would you like me to put you on hold?
No, it's fine. We can carry on. Because what I'd like to do is have a conversation with you about Brexit. Because I sense you think it was a bad idea.
No. Is that what you sense?
Yeah, that's what I said. Can I tell you why I thought it was a good idea?
Not really.
No?
Okay,
Sure?
as you've waited, I suppose so.
Oh, that's kind of you. Okay.
Is it, without using the words freedom or sovereignty or the phrase taking back control? Go ahead.
Okay, I won't use any of those because that's that was none of my reasoning for voting to leave. My thinking was this: we do not use the euro, and most of the other members of the EU do use the euro, and where you have a block of countries that all use a single currency, they really need to have political control because they have to have the same levers for interest rates and all of those things. And that, it seemed to me, was always going to create a tension between us as non-Euro members of the EU and the other Euro members of the EU.
Yeah, but we can all set our own interest rates. What difference does it make?
Well, because it means that often when you have economic decisions to take as a bloc, the interests of the Euro members are going to differ from the interests of the non-Euro members.
Give me an example.
Well, we may want to set our interests low for a particular reason, and they may want to set their interests high.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be forced to follow them. We can do it independently of them.
No, that's absolutely true. But we're it's not homogenous. So my concept was it would have been great to have like a kind of two-tier system where there you have the Euro members who are all tied into the same regime, which has got to have the same interest rates. And then you have other people who are free at the outside to set their own interest rates.
Right.
And, yeah.
Like we were. So you wanted to leave the European Union to get the exact same freedoms that we had inside the European Union?
No, but Nick, you have to remember there were these constant arguments. And do you remember the phrase, ever closer union? That was the big thing. And they needed ever closer union to get the homogeny that you need to have a single currency working.
Homogeny.
So
have you ever been to Europe?
Of course. I'm in Europe now. I'm in Portugal, actually, at the moment.
Okay,
It's
well,
lovely.
can you tell the difference between Portugal and Luxembourg, for instance? Or Portugal and France? Or France and Germany? There's no homogeny.
No. Not in terms of culture, but in terms of economic policy and regulation, there is. It's all the same. And it has to be. And do you not remember, there were constant arguments between us
that's a
and the rest
family.
of
There's
the-
constant arguments within a family, so let's ban families. All families should split up for the benefit of not having an argument. Crying out. So far, you've taken a lot of time, and you've described that the main reason that you wanted to get out was to continue to have the freedom that we had when we were in. Makes no sense.
Well, you don't seem to remember that there were constant arguments between
yes,
us.
there's constant arguments now. It's called international diplomacy, Andrew. You know, if you want no arguments, then you're not going to find it anywhere on earth.
Well, but you have to think, what was the fault line? What was the real fault line? And the real fault line, I think, was that we had a different currency.
Yeah,
and that's why.
We're just going around in a tight circle. You're telling me that you wanted the freedom to continue to have the same situation outside as we have inside. There's no benefit that you've described. There's no difference in the instance that you're talking about, outside or inside. What difference does it make? And your answer is to just keep repeating the argument over and over again. So we're not getting anywhere. I refer you to the answer I gave some moments ago, but thanks a lot. 0345 6060 973. This is, Graham says, is the Trump who hosted the murdering gangster Putin the same Trump who has called the National Guard out to stop a crime wave in Washington? Yeah. The same Trump who pardoned the murderous mob which stormed Congress. Talk about split personalities. He must have dozens. and every one of them is an idiot.
Don't be rude.
Be very, very rude, Graham. Don't talk to that idiot like that. Let's see. No, not that one. Not yet. Wanstead. Hello, Sophie. Sophie? Too late.
Nick Abbott on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Oh, search me, dear. I've got no idea. And it's my show. Can you believe that? This says, Nick, whose side do you think Trump is on? Well, when maybe? Typo? Read your text before you send them, people. Whose side do you think Trump is on when he verbally attacks Zelensky in the White House in front of the world media compared to when he meets Vladimir Putin and shows him a lot of love? Like Barry White. Hey, baby. I wonder what Putin said to wipe the smile off Trump and all of the little Trumple thinskins that accompanied him there. Because they went in all cheery and thumbs up and grinning, and they came out. It looked like they'd had their death presented to them on video. This is how it's going to be. I mean, the before and after pictures were just absolutely hilarious, in a bad way. Let's see now. San Francisco. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Nick. I wanted to mention two things that had been said on your show here, like two celebrities in the United States cannot sue each other. I think I heard you that said.
That can't be true.
That's not, well, anybody can sue anybody. The issue is if you are a public figure and somebody defames you, there's a much higher standard for proving that you have been damaged. So people can sue each other all they want.
Right.
But whether they're going to win in court is another matter.
Which is one reason why... Hang on a minute. Let's take it one by one. Which is one reason why people all over the world, America particularly, come to this country to sue each other, because there is a much lower bar in this country. In the States, you have to show that it was you were being mean and that you have actually suffered some sort of material loss because of it.
Well, and you have to prove that the person who defamed you absolutely knew that what they were saying was untrue, and that could be a little difficult to prove.
Right.
So that's why celebrities, public figures, people say nasty things about them all the time, and rarely do they try to sue everybody back. You had the second lady that said everybody was leaving San Francisco.
Right.
Well, that one actually was true.
No, it wasn't.
To a point, but that is. I would tend to disagree with that. From what I understand, that people were leaving the state of California because they were tired of all the regulations in San Francisco. There was concern about homelessness and crime in many of the stores that were in posh areas of San Francisco.
Well, if you're going to leave San Francisco to go to another city, then you're going to find crime, because crime is people all jammed together. You're going to get a significant amount of crime. I'm looking at the statistics now. 800. I didn't know it was quite so small. 805,235 people in 2010. 808,437 people in 2022. So in 12 years, it went up by, or admittedly, it's not a lot, but it went up by 3,000.
Yeah, I would say there might have been, if you take it year by year, there might have been variations in that. But the point is, a lot of people were leaving. But now that has been reversed. Many of the tech companies here are now, their workers are living in San Francisco now. And
Elon Musk tried to...
The city's coming back.
Yeah, Elon Musk tried to move his business to, or at least a significant amount of it, to Texas, right? Because, I don't know, less oversight, less taxes, etc. and so on. And I think he moved his business back, did he not? I mean, most of his business is based in and around San Francisco because it's tech bro central.
Yes, that's. I do not know about whether he moved it all back. I'm not familiar with that part, but he used to actually live about 5 miles away from me here. He had a big estate,
right?
And he left it. He sold it, and he left it to go to Texas. And as far as I'm concerned, I wish he had stayed there. But that's me. But anyway, San Francisco. I'm not here for the Chamber of Commerce. I'm just telling you that San Francisco is actually. I visited it about 3 days ago, and it's doing fine as far as I can see.
Hey, I had a call from somebody. I had a call from somebody in San Francisco about an hour or so ago, and they said that they just experienced an earthquake. Did you feel it?
I did not, but I live in a house that it has to be a pretty big earthquake before I feel things. We do have cracks in the house that go back, a few decades when there were earthquakes, but I must confess, I got the earthquake app, but it didn't trigger me to go outside and
there's an app?
Hide,
Right.
Yes, there's an app. It's called My Shake. And it's used in many parts of California, and it can alert you. And actually, they've got it to the point now where they can give you a few seconds warning that a quake is coming, which gives you enough. All of this technology is advancing. They can give you a few seconds warning, give you enough time to run outside or run into a door under a door jam or something of that kind. Which is pretty exciting.
Do you have? Well, that's one word for it. Yeah. Do you have conversations with locals about the possibility of a big earthquake because it's overdue, isn't it? A really, really big one. Because you had one in, was it 1904 or 7 or something like that sort of flattened large areas of the city. Is it going to happen again?
1906. Well,
Right.
They've been saying that California is going to get one of these earthquakes. They've been saying it for 30 years, and then the 30 years pass, and then they say, well, in another 30 years it's going to happen. What I've read is that the most dangerous place for an earthquake is off the Pacific Northwest, and there are scientific things that have been written that says if there's a particular spot up there, and if that goes,
tsunami,
that's going to be that's going to be big trouble for the entire west coast of the United States. But do we worry about it? No, we cross those bridges when we come to
those bridges will be swept away by a tsunami, but you'll cross them when you come to them. Yeah. All right, well, fingers crossed, Mike, and I wish you all the best. Thanks for that. 0345 6060 973. Phil in Ipswich says, did you see that heroic staff at the Cotswold pub told their manager that none of them were prepared to serve shady Vance? Yes. Yeah, I did. The landlord had to phone Vance to cancel the booking. I only saw this on social media, so I don't know if it's true, but if it is, they should each get an MBE for services to this country. Absolutely. They're flexing their free speech and their free will. And I know that J.D. Vance will be very appreciative of that because he's a free speech abolitionist. He's absolutely all over getting it abolished if it's free speech that he doesn't like. You know, one of those people. John says, hey, Nick, I'm back from Indonesia. I'm sitting in the garden in Nottingham with my mate Colin. It's freezing. Yeah, what happened to the heat wave you guys have been promising? I don't know. I was very, very disappointed. I thought that this week was going to be a heat wave. That's what we were promised. And now we don't get it. I am short one heat wave. But September can be all right. Well, tomorrow in London, it's actually a pretty good week. But by the end of the week, it's going to be 67 degrees.
Oh, no.
Oh, that sounds like a British summertime to me. I mean, it'll be sunny, all right, in London, but 67, that's not warm. And if that's in London, then if you're outside London, it's going to be significantly cooler than that, I betcha. Betcha. And still no rain for as far as the eye can see. Let's see now. Atlanta, Georgia. This is a very American-heavy program this evening. An ecstasy of fumbling. Sharon, are you eating crisps?
Oh, I didn't know it was me. Sorry. I was opening me tomatoes with me teeth.
Opening your tomatoes?
Yes, opening them. They put them in plastic. You know, we're saving the nation, aren't we, in plastic?
Plastic, yeah. So, what's up?
Yeah. Right. Well, first of all, you saved my life. By living over here, I listen to you when you're on, and it makes me laugh so much. Oh. And the callers are fantastic. But anyway...
Fantastic, like science fiction, you mean?
No, it makes me feel real again. Because I walk around in a cloud here.
I remember real.
So, I was just thinking how stupid we are as a human race.
Yes.
I mean, that Putin thing and Trump, it's embarrassing that we just don't physically just take them out and say, just go to your corners. You know, you're acting...
Yeah, you've been acting up. You're very, very bad boys.
Exactly. And this is what you're allowed and this is what you're not allowed. And end of story. But we just let them carry on.
Yeah. That's right.
I don't understand it.
No, I don't understand it. The smart people seem to have just capitulated. They've and the world has been taken over by the stupids. Are you still opening your tomatoes?
I wish they'd hire me. My tomatoes, I'm not going to touch them again.
No,
Sorry.
don't touch them. Have you noticed that the price? Hang on a minute. Have you noticed that the price of everything in the grocery store has gone down, like the dear leader has said?
Oh, no. It's gone down and, gone up.
Yeah.
But the standard of living has gone down over here and people just don't see it. It's a shame. It really is. It's like they're in a little globe.
It's remarkable. Even though their own eyes are telling them that prices are going up and their purchasing power is going down, the dear leader, Donald Trump, is telling them that the opposite is true and they're believing him rather than their own experience. It's incredible.
Yeah, he's been on TV all the time telling about this $1.99 gas that we get.
It doesn't exist.
I haven't seen anything under $2.60 in 10 years here.
Yeah. I mean, somebody looked over the entirety of the United States and there is not one single petrol station, gas station, that is selling gas at $1.99. But that's what Donald Trump is telling you all the time, and people must think, it must be.
I'd get fired if I lied. He lies, and it's proven it's a lie, and we vote him in again.
Again, yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, I know. So hopefully I'll live long enough and we don't have a nuclear attack or anything so that I can come and eat a real tomato in England.
Well, that is a dream worth holding on to, Sharon.
Thank you.
All right, cheers, my dear. And I wish...
Love you lot.
All right, and you too. I wish you all the best. I think in Atlanta, Georgia, you'll be fine. If there's a nuclear attack, then I think Atlanta, Georgia will be at the bottom of Vladimir Putin's to-do list. You'll be just fine. Tina in Ebbw Vale, who will also be just fine, says, when those two criminals met yesterday, it would have been more shocking if they had chopped up Ukraine and done deals without Zelensky there. At least they had the decency not to talk about it. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall. Well, yeah, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall. Because whatever Putin told Trump and his little mini-me's made them ashen-faced coming out. All grinning and, thumbs up on the way in and not so much on the way out. Yeah, it was quite shocking to see. And Vladimir Putin was still grinning, having a great time. Andy in Horsham says, hey, Nick, do you reckon there could be a parallel universe out there where Donald Trump is the owner of a village newsagents and always gives a kindly wave to passers-by, and every Christmas he'd dress up as Santa and invite the local children into his shop to sit on his knee and listen to a nativity story about the Virgin Melania and baby Lurch? Well, you have given us a boatload to think about there, Andy. And I'll try not to think about it for a single moment longer. And this says, Nick, did you see the surprise from the flat earther crowd about how there is a secret passage from eastern Russia to Western America? Yeah, you can see it from there. I know. How many more? Loads. Too many. Mark says, with everything that's going on in the world right now, thank goodness that the Strictly lineup has been announced. Is there actually anything good to look forward to on TV anymore? I looked at, it's not a program that it's not a program I've ever watched. But it was in the papers today because the people are upset that one of them has been, I don't know, I just don't care. And I looked through, they gave us a list of all of the people that are going to be appearing on your new super celebrity dancing thing. I didn't know who any of them were. I mean, there's a footballer, I've heard of him. Other than that, I had not one clue as to who any of those people are. Who are they? All these celebrities. No idea. And do I want to see them dance?
No.
And furthermore...
No.
Nick Abbot on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
I really like you. Do you like me?
Yeah, sure. Why not? This text says, Nick, Sad Sam... Oh, Sad Sam. Right. This is from a while ago. I can't remember in what context it was spoken, but something about Sad Sam. Anyway, the information is Sad Sam are the cuddly little spaniel-type dogs that they used to sell in the 1980s in card shops. They were everywhere, some with hearts in their mouths for Valentine's Day. Oh, puke. That sounds awful. I've never heard of that. Sad Sam. Why would anybody buy a cuddly spaniel-type dog? Well, I mean, presumably It's a toy, not an actual dog that they sold in card shops. Why would anybody think that Sad Sam is a good name for a product? I mean, just the word sad puts you right off, don't it? Never mind about Sam. And Sarah says, I'm a Brummie. My family, young kids and a husband, absolutely love London. It's cosmopolitan and alive. There's lots to do and plenty of free museums. If people don't like it, move, you dingaling. Correct, Amundo. Yeah. I am so tired of all these people that don't live in London telling us that London is an anarchic, out-of-control hellhole. It isn't. London is probably the best city in the world. The only city that comes close is New York, and New York is an unlovely place of concrete canyons and precious little greenery, apart from one giant blob of it in the middle. It's not on a human scale like London is. London is the best city in the world. And I'm so tired of these people writing columns and spouting nonsense from their tax havens abroad, telling us that London is a place for dirtbags. It isn't. I, on a daily basis, grateful that I live in London. It astonishes me that I've, by sheer dumb luck, found myself in the most exciting and go-ahead city in the world. And I'm really tired of these fake patriots telling us that it isn't. These oily charlatans on the make, just trying to make you fearful for their own, to bolster their own prospects and fortunes. To hell with them. Let's have Wanstead. Hello, Sophie.
Hello, Nick. Oh, I've got 4 topics now.
Oh, so... no. 4?
No, really, will you write them down before I forget?
Homework? Okay, then. Go on.
So,
Bears,
London,
yes. London,
American houses, and Alaska.
American houses and Alaska. Right. From the top. Bears.
Bev is a very nice lady I met today. Again, someone recognised my voice, and she really likes your programme, by the way.
Huh.
And again, it was in other supermarkets are available.
Yeah.
In the Leytonstone Marks and Sparks.
Good grief. Was it cold in there?
It was pleasantly cool.
Because I always feel like I need to take a hat, coat, scarf and gloves when I go into an M&S food shop, because it's absolutely blooming freezing in there.
That's true, actually, because the one in South Woodford is very cold.
Yeah. I feel sorry for the people who have to work. I guess they're used to it, or maybe they've got thermals on underneath, but it's kept too cold for my liking. But anyway.
The one in Wanstead, they're always wrapped up really warm. So so she was a very nice lady. But London, I must have seen most of London yesterday, and I apologise, I went AWOL. You were calling me earlier, and I fell asleep for 5 minutes.
Hey, wake up.
20, you should have played that earlier, 22,000 steps yesterday. And you're right, London is absolutely beautiful.
22,000 steps. What is that? I mean, in miles. Where did you walk?
So from Clapham Common to Liverpool Street.
Blimey.
That's nearly 10 miles.
Is it? 10 miles from Clapham Common to Liverpool Street?
That's what it said on my step counter, but I think my step counter's wrong. But people...
Are you deliberately trying to fool your step counter? Are you walking backwards and forwards over the same ground just to make it appear as though you're actually going somewhere?
That's a good ploy.
Yeah.
I did actually have, I won't name it, but there's an ice cream parlour in Clapham Common.
Yeah.
And it's the nicest ice cream I think I've ever had in my life.
That cow juice is good stuff.
And it's Italian, authentic ice cream. I think everyone knows the one I'm talking about.
Well, I most certainly don't, but anyway.
Well, you should go. You should go. So, American houses. And the last one, please don't let me forget Alaska.
Alaska.
It's very important.
Very important.
But American houses. I absolutely do not know why America insists on building houses that cannot withstand tornadoes, the violent winds they have, the twisters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposedly the most advanced country in the world, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And the other thing...
Well, I think to build a house that can survive a tornado, it would have to be... Well, it'd have to be underground, apart from anything else. I mean, the force of nature is so great that it's going to pick up anything that you put on the ground if you just happen to be in the wrong place. I think it would be cost prohibitive to do that. I mean, you can build, as we saw in Los Angeles during the fire, you can build a house that can withstand a wildfire, because in a whole row of houses there was you've probably seen the pictures, there'll be one or two houses that survived, and everything else on the street is completely flattened. And the owners were asked, how did you do it? They said, we built it with that in mind. We put concrete in and fire protection and all of that stuff. But I don't think you can build to prevent the damaging effect of a tornado.
Well, then the other thing is, why live there? And in exactly the same way, why live on a fault, on a tectonic plate in California?
That does surprise me.
My mind boggles. But the other thing is, to your point, houses underground. I suggest to every single American, because that twit is in power, you all build houses underground, because he will declare nuclear war at some point.
Yeah, and the way it's going, probably on California.
Exactly. But the other thing, this really intrigued me, because I thought, why did he call a summit with Putin in Alaska? And of course, one of the reasons could be oil, because there are about 17 billion barrels of oil that are still, in the ground. But then it hit me, Nick. The epiphany.
It's the Arctic.
No.
Oh.
Who owned Alaska before it became an American state?
Russia.
Yes.
Worst property deal ever. Well, second worst after Manhattan.
Yes, I think it was Tsar Nicholas who thought, he needed the money, so he sold it off. And I'm wondering, maybe Putin chose Alaska because he's putting Trump on high alert. That's their next target.
Yeah, putting him on notice. Yeah, Canada isn't going to become the 51st state. The whole of America is going to become part of the USSR.
Exactly. It'll be a satellite state of Russia. So I am intrigued, though, why Alaska? And I think that's my theory anyway. Right. I haven't heard anyone else say it, but I thought it was really obvious.
I suspect it might have something to do with Vlad not wanting to fly over any other country that might possibly down their plane, because he's got an international arrest warrant out for him. So if he travels over someone else's landmass, then that might put him in. It might give him a problem.
This is true. Both of them deserve to be on Rikers Island, honestly, or some prison island, because I just don't understand why people give Trump a free pass. I just don't understand.
Well, it's like a religion. It's a cult, and they have put their entire faith and their hope, that's the important part, hope, in Donald Trump, because he's telling them that he's going to improve their lives. And they put so much hope and faith in him that even if he's making their lives worse, it still will it will still occur to them that it's going to get better at some point in the future. That's the nature of faith.
Well, before they put their faith in him, they have to suspend logic, clearly.
Yeah.
But I know I fell asleep for 5 minutes, and I know you mentioned Tom Cruise, so I Googled it, and Tom Cruise has refused...
Well, don't tell us. That's a spoiler alert.
Warning, warning.
She's about to ruin it for me. Anyway, got to go, Sophie. Cheers, my dear. Leave it with me. I have detailed files.
Affirmative.
This text says, Sad Sam... Oh, no, I read that. The Sad Sam thing. Poor Sam.
The way you wander
Anthony in Shrewsbury says, "Hi, Nick. Elvis left the building for the last time 48 years ago today. Can you believe it's been that long? August the 16th, 1977. And I remember exactly where I was on August the 16th, 1977. I was in Germany, in the Black Forest. And I put the TV... we'd done a house swap with a family of forest rangers. And they took our house in... this was, with my parents. And they took our house in just outside Embra. And we took their house in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It was this a house in the middle of a forest, literally in the Black Forest. And he was the forest ranger. And so we didn't have any contact with the outside world at all, apart from the German TV that I put on just to see, what German television was like. And there was all these crying people. And I couldn't figure out what the hell it was, what they were saying, because their actual voices were being dubbed into German. And it eventually occurred to me that, Elvis, because, even in German, Elvis is Elvis. Figured it out eventually. All that time. I don't think I've done anything. Nothing of any value anyway. Still, there's still time.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott. Call 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
Come on, we're running late.
We are running late. Oldbury. Hello, Ranjit.
Nick, you all right, mate?
Yes, good, thanks.
Good. Yeah, I'm going to have to request, leave for next week because... we're partying from tonight onwards, yes, so I'll be calling next week.
Wow.
Yeah, and I want to say hello to one of your glamorous assistants called Will and his partner Amy come to see me this week.
Hello? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to come and see me this week, I won't be there. So,
well, that sounds like the ideal time to come.
Before, sometimes, when I used to hear people when I was a kid, and not many people do it now. When they meet one of their friends, they always say, "Oh, yeah, how you doing? How's your wife and my kids?" Yeah?
Yeah.
So I think maybe Putin said that to Trump, "How's your wife and my children?" or something like that, and that's where he changed.
How's your wife and my children?
My children, yeah. Think about it. Lurch.
No, I prefer not to.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think Lurch is about 8 feet tall. I don't think he got any of his genes from Vladimir Putin. He's about 3'6".
We don't know. But I've noticed that he's turning into like an aubergine now, isn't he, Trump? He's not even a brown colour. He's kind of something purple or something.
No human has ever been that colour before. And I'm not. And it's okay to say that. It doesn't mean to say that you're racist.
No. And I want to talk about dinglings, right? There was somebody on the radio today, and this woman's going mad at one of the presenters, right? How dare you do this? How dare you? Why are we interested in the Epstein files or whatever, this, that, and the other, right? And she's going mad. We want to know how he's running the world, yeah? And I'm thinking to myself, please let me get on and have a three-way conversation with this woman, right? And all I would have had to say was one sentence to her, and she would never had a reply, and that was, "Nothing to hide, show it then." You know what I mean? If he's got nothing to hide, why is he trying to avoid releasing these files when he said it, yeah?
Hey, Ranjit.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Huh?
And you know how he sounds when he says that?
As though he's never heard of Jeffrey Epstein. Like he's trying to remember what his second name is.
Yeah, you know what Robert De Niro goes, "You talking to me? You talking to me?" Yeah. That was in Taxi Driver.
Wow, it was almost like he walked into the studio there for a moment. I turned around to see if it was actually him.
No, but these dinglings, right? I mean, you had one on your show earlier, right? They, what makes them actually tick? Sometimes I think you get annoyed with these people, right? And you just, I should let them carry on for a couple of minutes and see how much ammunition they've got.
Okay, let me think about that for a moment, Ranjit.
No.
But thanks for the suggestion.
I'm not. No, I'm just saying some of these dinglings, right, are really, really bad. I mean, what actually happened there yesterday? It wasn't even a Jolly Boys day out, right?
It was a
in.
Great big bunch of nothing.
Yeah, he came in, he stuck two fingers up to Donald Trump. He says, listen, I'm your puppet master. Just remember your place, Donald, right?
That pretty much looked like what happened to me, yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
Ranjit, I've got to go, but thanks for that. 0345 6060 973. Carl says, in a week when President Tango has managed to provoke the normally peaceful Canadians into increasing their armed forces and place Washington, D.C. under a shade of martial law, I've been working on my bucket list. I have a red plastic one with a grill, a grey one with a mop, and one of those galvanised metal ones that will make a hell of a noise when I come home late at night. Thankfully, we will soon be able to blame everything on Jeremy Corbyn again, says Carl. Another listener with material.
Oh, no.
Anne says, I've always wondered, what would you say to the President of the USA if he rang in to talk to you? That would be really interesting. No, says Anne.
No.
No. This says, it's not a ballroom, it's a throne room. It may have been 250 years since America last had a king, but at least the last one was a constitutional monarch, not an absolute one. And he was mad as well. He was mad as well, though. So, Lou says, do you think it was preferable to have no dialogue between the USA and Europe with Putin, like it was before Trump, or have dialogue to try to reach a solution? Well, that very much depends on whether it was a dialogue in order to reach a solution, Lou, and not a dialogue in order to come to the point of carving up Ukraine for the benefit of the two dictatorial leaders. So it depends, doesn't it? How many more of these have I got? Oh, blimey, I can see the end from here. That is surprising. I must talk about Tom Cruise before I go. Don't let me do that without doing it. James.
Hello.
Yes, James.
I was just wondering about seeing the whole meeting. I mean, Putin referred pretty much immediately to some sort of business dealing.
Yeah.
And there wasn't much talk about the war or anything, God forbid. Anything like that.
Pretty much nothing at all. I mean, Putin just went on and on and on. And he was talking about history. He was giving everybody a history lesson, and then he was talking about business. Yeah.
Yeah, some fabricated history. Yeah, but there was no reference to the actual war. And I think, why? What was the whole point of the thing anyway?
I know. Yeah, it was utterly bizarre. What was most bizarre was the look on Trump's face after the meeting. What he heard inside, I would love to know.
Yeah. It's just, I mean...
Maybe Vladimir Putin showed him a clip of one of the videos that he's got of him. And that wiped the smile right off his face.
Exactly. I think it's a video, definitely.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, it's like just really... really cheap gaslighting, but everyone's falling for it and no one's asking any questions. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. The press are seriously failing us in America. They just don't ask any questions. They don't back anything back. They just let him babble on like an infant, and it doesn't matter what stupid thing he says. They just pretty much swallow it. It's extraordinary. The press in America have capitulated en masse. It's embarrassing. But thanks, James. Very quickly, let's see if I can get Northolt. Hello, Joanne.
Hiya, yeah. I just wanted to say about how exciting what London is, even though I've been living in London all my life. And I think the things that I just discovered today was blowing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
The wobbly bridge that there is.
Yeah.
The Millennium Bridge, yeah. So just by the side of it, there's been people putting little small padlocks on this rail, and I thought, why the hell are we doing that for?
Yeah. I think it's a love thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I was saying, things like the Clinked Museum and the Golden Hind, and all these are kind of things I was looking at, and it's just the streets was packed with people, and everything was just amazing, really. Just how much I didn't actually realise it was on my own doorstep.
People should embrace London and not believe a word that these oily charlatans, these fake patriots, are telling us about our own city. London is the best city in the world, bar none. It has more to offer than any other city on earth, and it is a much more comfortable and on a human scale than any of the cities in America. All those tall skyscrapers, those windy canyons, those charmless, inhumane conditions that they built there. There's nothing pleasant about them. I mean, New York looks best at night from far away. It looks utterly hideous up close, whereas London has got no end of beauty. And among the best museums and the best galleries in the whole world. And we should celebrate it. Don't listen to these people who, from a tax haven abroad, are trying to tell us about our own city. So, good work there, Joanne. Thanks for that. Right, Tom Cruise. Let me see if I got any of these. I'll be back. Arnie, the ex-governor of California, says this one, calls out Trump as a Putin fanboy, embarrassing America with his starstruck approach to Vlad. Is that what Arnold Schwarzenegger said?
Affirmative.
This says, I don't believe Keir Starmer likes Donald Trump. I don't believe Starmer thinks he can make Brexit work. I don't think anybody else in Britain believes that either, and nor does Donald Trump. Can't help thinking that Starmer and Labour would do better in the polls if the whole world didn't think that they were lying. Yes, I'll agree with that. I don't believe Starmer likes Donald Trump either. I don't believe he reveres him or has any respect for him in any way, shape or form, other than he's a whining baby with a machine gun. And I don't think he believes that Brexit can be made to work either. No. I don't believe any of the above. And Guy in East Dulwich says, believe it or not, tuna and crisps is in fact a bona fide American casserole recipe. It's mixed with mushroom soup. I know it sounds unreal, but I've actually eaten it. As an Italian, it was traumatic. Guy, it was traumatic just reading that. OK, actor Tom Cruise reportedly turned down a Kennedy Center award from President Donald Trump. According to the Washington Post, the Mission Impossible star, 63, was offered the award but declined due to scheduling conflicts, which is possibly code for he doesn't want to receive anything from Fibonacci's weirdly tiny hands because you never know where they've been. But you can imagine.
Oh, shut up!
Which must hurt Trump almost as much as the beating he took from his hero Vladimir Putin in Alaska, who left him looking like he'd just been taken to the vet to have him fixed.
Don't be rude.
So Trump loves Tom Cruise because he acts like everything that the terracotta toddler would like to be. Strong, decisive, heroic, smart. And Cruise is a no-show. So instead, the president unveiled Sylvester Stallone and the rock band Kiss, which is appropriate. Trump talks as well as Rocky, a character who's been hit in the head a lot, and he can share the stage with Kiss, a group of men who wear even more makeup than he does and whose wigs are about as believable. He would also honour Gloria Gaynor, who is most famous for singing I Will Survive, which, according to Wikipedia, is an anthem of gay empowerment. You know, to go with all the other gay songs he dances to, like a man stroking two hot dogs at face level.
I can be more presidential than anybody.
And by the way, the Kennedy Center, or the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, to give it its full title, is America's foremost arts center, which Donald Trump barged into as part of his war on woke, which is to say his war on anyone who says mean things about him. And he fired the board and installed himself as chairman, which has a ring about it, don't it? Chairman Trump. And he went about getting rid of all the degenerate art that he didn't like or understand and replaced it with the amusements of simpletons that is more his style. And he decided that the best person to host this year's awards ceremony was himself. He said that he always wanted a Kennedy Award as well, calling it one of the most prestigious awards in show business. No, not show business, you harebrained haystack. It's the arts. They're one of the most prestigious awards in the arts. And it's no surprise that he wants one of those. Now that he's chairman, he'll probably award himself the highest honour, a double gold, with added gilded cherubs and gold-painted scrolls, like that third-world dictator interior design nightmare that he's made of the Oval Office. It's a ceremony to celebrate those who have contributed to the arts, so naturally he chose the band Kiss and a MAGA hat-wearing actor who supported him during his campaign for president to receive an award. And Tom Cruise perhaps didn't want to be near any of that, because going on stage to honour Trump was a stunt too far. So we have something else to thank Tom Cruise for. You know, apart from clinging to the side of a plane while it took off and riding an actual motorbike off an actual mountain just to amuse us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. 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 Appreciate it.